Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crick Zenify. So, it's a live podcast that we are bringing to you after a long break, I must say. But again, we are back with the same enthusiasm and the same energy. And we have a very new panel member also joining with us, that is Mr. Silva. And as you all know, Rajbhai, who always joins in and gives us his very good insights as well. So, a lot of things that have happened in the past week or so, with the main one obviously being the WTC champions in the form of South Africa. So we'll talk about it as well. And apart from that, we also had the T20I series between England and West Indies. So pretty much to talk about that as well. And we also have the very newly introduced league, which was introduced last year. And this year, again, looking forward to the successful execution of that. That is the MLC also, which is happening. We have had three matches so far and three very good matches as well. Oh, four matches, I'm sorry. So four pretty good matches, I must say. And yes, we'll talk a lot about it. Apart from that, there are also few rule changes that have come in, and you might have seen some of those in our Crick Zenify channel, and we will talk more about those rule changes as well in this particular live. So yes, starting off with the main thing and the main topic here, that is South Africa. They have finally broken their knockout jinx. They have finally won a trophy after 27 long years. Yes, it was previously the Knockouts Trophy, and now it is the WTC, that is the World Test Championship Mace. A pretty good match, a typical test match we can say, which lasted for 4 days, where from the very first and second day it was completely dominated by the bowlers, as we could see wickets tumbling down like anything. And there we saw from the Australia, it was Steven Smith who played a brilliant innings, and again a brilliant partner that he found in Bew Webster as well, a very sensational all-rounder coming in from Australia. And then after that, if you look at the South African innings, it was Temba Bavuma who tried to steady the innings, but I think apart from him, no one exactly got the start they needed. And after that, again, it was the Lungi and Gidi show. I think many of them doubted Temba's choice, that was it right to go with Ngidi than your Corbin Bosch or probably another genuine fast bowler. But Lungi Ngidi proved everyone wrong and picked up the important wicket of Steve Smith as well. And in the fourth innings, we must say, as everyone expected and everyone had hopes only on Aiden Markram, and he delivered it. And even the history says that, Aiden Markram loves playing against Australia. And even in the finals, he proved it again, and very well supported by their captain, the player who's named as Hope by his grandmother. And the synonym he holds is Temba Bavuma. So a pretty well supported innings from him as well, who played with cramps. And overall, all of these performances got South Africa their long due ICC trophy. So I think a very big introduction from my side, and now I'll give it open to Rajbhai first. What are your views on the WTC finals?
You actually covered up everything. I mean, the way we look at, especially like if you ask me, I have grew up in such kind of an era where like test match was at its peak. I grew up watching Lakshman. I grew up watching Dravid. I grew up watching the great Jack Callis, the South African. I grew up watching the Australian greats like Shane Warne, Steve Waugh, Mark Waugh, and Glenn McGrath, Michael Kasparov, Jason Gillespie, all these players, the way they played the test cricket, the way they used to ball in such a pace. And I was just like few days back also, I was also watching the movie 83. That red ball gives us so much of interesting, the way it actually moves away from the sunlight, and when the sun is open, especially at Lords, you get the ball very much easily onto the bat. Like a couple of years ago when Australia was on the other side against Team India, winning that World Test Championship, the sun was in favor to them at the Oval. Now they're back again against a different opponents, South Africa. The sun was open when South Africa was actually batting. The clouds was completely covered, and there was a hint of a sunshine for the second innings for Australia. But however, uh, as you rightly called it off, Australia have been beaten in the finals after 2010. That means to say, after 25, I mean, like almost like a decade and a half, Australia were unbeaten in the finals, and this is the first time when the Lord Bavuma did and upset the Australian dreams of winning yet another final in the ICC tournament. And yes, Australia in the first innings, they were so brilliant, and a great partnership between the Steven Smith and Webster as well. And all credit goes to Kagiso Rabada, the way he set up the innings, especially for the first innings for Australia, to fall out so easily and so cheaply. And 15 overs, 4 balls, picking up 5 wickets in just 51 runs is not an easy task, especially at this particular pitch. And when you're playing a World Test Championship final, along with that, you have also have Marco Hansen picking up 3 wickets. That's a complete set which was done by these two fast bowlers for South Africa. And then yes, the first innings did not went in favor for batting for South Africa. They fell out cheaply for 138, and again, the man of the hour, Pat Cummins, picking that six for was a much more important thing that actually gave Australia can come back at any point of time, and a great support from his deputy as well, Mitchell Stark, and picking up 2 wickets for 41 runs, I believe. And with all these things, what exactly changed in the in the second innings for Australia is again Kagiso Rabada leading the bowling attack. Now, just for a change, Ngidi came into the picture and giving a great partnership, especially to Kagiso Rabada, picking up those 3 wickets, and they have actually broken the backbone of entire Australian batting order. And now, after that, it was Mitchell Stark who is having an highest score of almost like 90 in the test match cricket as well, and scoring that 58 runs when it is much required for Australian team to get that competitive score of 281 on the board. All credit goes to Mitchell Stark, and again support from what Alex Carey. The way he has stood himself in the middle was very much important. We call him the man of the hour. Yes, he did it rightly, exactly the same. He was not under the pressure. Yes, when he came onto the bat, there was a hint of a sunshine, which was exactly made him to his advantage. And again, Josh Hazelwood and playing that partnership along with Josh Hazelwood was also put up Australia to 207, or else they would have been fumbled somewhere around like 150 or 130. Then the target would have been a little bit less also. South Africa to chase, and the match would have not even gone for fourth day as well. And what we have to talk is that beautiful innings of Aiden Markram, who has scored not only the century, who has also given a new hopes to South African team. If you are maintaining your calmness at the pressure, you can win any kind of tournaments, and that's what exactly he has delivered along with the captain Bavuma. And these two players, I mean, whenever you see, they were actually not in a hurry to finish the game. They know there was a plenty of amount of time remaining in the test match. 2.5 days is not an easy task. I mean, like yeah, 2.5 days is not an easy task. At the end of third day, then they were scoring like they need another 100 more runs, if I'm not wrong, and scoring that not 100, more than 150, I believe. Okay, and that scoring that 150 in the last fourth day of the match is not an easy task again. Unfortunately, Bavuma was dismissed on the day 3, but it was again Aiden Markram show in the third day. Oof, what and complete what to say, South Africa have completely dominated this, and there was not an hurry shown by any single batsman at the middle. You take about Tristan Stubbs, he has played 43 balls to score just 8 runs, and that actually shows how important this particular trophy meant to each and every South African. And not only that, they have shown how exactly the test match has to be played. Along with that, Kyle Verivane has also played like 4 runs, and David Bedingham has also scored 21 of 49, and Bavuma, who has also scored 66 of 134. And the man of the hour again, Aiden Markram scoring 207 in 100 scoring 136 in 207 balls is something what every single batsman have to do under the pressure. Maintain your coolness, maintain your calmness, and everything will automatically fall for you. I took so long, but that test match is can't be described in just like what 6 or 7 minutes. That's how much interesting the entire game has been. Believed. If you want to talk about the technique, what Aiden Markram was using all these things. Okay, so you were just like watching the ball, leaving the ball was a very much important key thing for each and every single player, especially when you're playing a test match, and that he has executed really, really well. And the happiness, what we have seen from the stands as well, from each and every South African fan, including the former player AB de Villiers, who was also in the stands. In next few days, he'll also be playing MLC,
The
Legends League
Legends
as
League is.
league as well. So he was there. He was also preparing for that particular league. I mean, trust me, man. He also enjoyed every single bit of it. Last 10 days has been a day to remember for AB de Villiers for sure. And I don't want to go to the previous this one, but we all know what exactly happened. But let's come back to the present and stay in the present. Yes, South Africa have done it, and they have done it one better this time, and they showed to the entire world, if you are holding your cool, if you are holding your calmness, if you are taking your time in the middle, definitely you can achieve anything at any point of time.
Yes, just to add one more point to what Rajbhai said, he said that South Africa exactly showed how Test matches played. Just to add one more point, apart from playing, they also showed that the how you should respect the Test matches as well, how you should respect the conditions. You did not see any rash shots from them, or you did not see any kind of that hesitation in playing their shots or leaving the ball. They respected the conditions, they respected the bowlers, and played according to that. So yes, kudos. And even if you come towards Australia as well, if we see that this final was exactly the testament on how Test cricket should be played, how the conditions must be respected, how the players must be respected, and this Test match should form a base to this generation who are not so much involved in Test cricket. It forms kind of a base that how the previous era played the Test matches and how much they respected this format, why they respected this format. I think that was what was the statement made in the 4 days that we saw in the finals. So now I'll come straight up to Selva Bhai. Firstly, welcome to Crick Zenify. And, just to come to you, we have seen that a player like Temba Bavuma, who was made the captain, he faced, a lot of criticism from a lot of people. And then also South Africa team as well, when they made it to the finals, a lot of comments about they took the easy route, they did not play any tough teams or anything of that sort. But what Temba Bauma showed was something that is of a great inspiration, as he mentions that his name given to him by his grandmother, which Temba means hope, and that is what he showed. So just give us some insights about Temba Bauma, and how much you know about him as well.
Hi guys. So thank you, Saga, for the intro, and hi Raj. So basically, we have seen Bauma last few years, where he has got rolled for his World Cup stuff, and everything he has got into things were not that went that good. Okay, so he was removed from the captaincy part, and then he came into Test cricket. Like South Africa was in a desperate need of winning this trophy. Okay, why? Because they haven't got anything the past years, so they have to bring it this one next to it because the Test match which they have won, like the last Test match, 7 Test matches which they played, they won continuously. Even though if it is a tough team or if it is a smaller team, it is a team. A Test match can change in any time. The conditions will play because it's a 5 match game, right? So if a condition changes or pitch behaves differently, the opponent will easily be able to take them up. So those kinds of things he was criticized, he was making up things. And when they come into WTC, so he was the only batter who was averaging more than 50. So when we come back, so he had that intention of getting in this done for his team and for his country. And when they get into this final, there was lots of criticism, like as Rajbhai said, like whether you are going to go with Dungi Ngidi or not. Why? Because there are two top bowlers in their team, which is Rabada and Jansen. But the third one should be an attacking bowler, where in a kind of pitch, lots how it behaves, everyone knows, right? So he went instead of Dane Patterson, he went into Lungi Ngadi so that he had a confidence like putting him there, and they created some kind of confidence within him. In the first innings, we saw he gave lots of runs, 8 overs, 45 runs, which is huge in Test cricket. And that also Australia targeted him very much. They started to hit him all over places, and they were like, okay, he's the bowler where we can target and we can score runs easily. So from that, in the second inning, it's completely changed. Okay, in the first innings, the intention of the South Africans were not that good, except Bavuma. Bavuma left the ball, he played according to the merit. Whereas other batsmen started to play just like that and they were in the back foot. Their intention of scoring runs, even they are not ready to take singles. Okay, but when coming into the second innings, like what Bavuma showed, the intention, the what captain leading from the front, we used to say right in our game. So he gave how to play, what we can do, what is the intention for us, and how we can make it. It was shown in the second innings batting. Why? Because there was singles scored every time. Each and every time, if with a chance they started to score singles, the scoreboard started ticking easily, and they started to score around 4 runs per over, which is very much good in a test match cricket and kind of one day game they played in the second innings. But in the first innings, Australians were more attacking towards them. But in the first innings, when South Africa bowled, they were in a defensive mode. They kept like sweeper cover, and then they have find like everything like it was almost 3 to 4 players outside the ring. They thought of going in a defensive mode, but when compared to Australia, they were in a very much of attacking mode, trying to take wickets, trying to disturb them. They didn't give up on the first innings part anywhere, but when it comes to second innings, the intention completely changed, and the team which we saw in the first innings was no more there. Everyone started to build for themselves, play for themselves. And Bavuma and Markram showed a great intensity while playing. They started to leave the balls. They started to like respect the bowler who they are facing. They're almost top three bowlers in the world cricket, right? They all these things like dismantled every team, every top team. When these comes, everyone has a fear of facing against them. But they started to respect, play against the ball which are not like which are good, and playing according to the merit was a eye-watching one, and everyone started to believe that okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, and the partnerships which between Markram and Bavuma was one of the greatest one, which started to frustrate Australia. They tried all methods to get them down, but it didn't happen. And one more thing also, like the lots we see, like A1 will be usually a swinging one. We have lots of movements in the track. Everything will happen. But in this match, there is no lots of swing, but there was movement here or there in the first day. And second day, usually they used to say it is a batting. Second day and third day, it's a batting track. And fourth and fifth, it will be uneven bounce, and the spinners will be coming into play. But second day also was favored for South Africa, where they able to pick up more wickets and try to put Australia in a back foot. And then when they entered into third day, there was a good partnership between Hazelwood and
Stuck.
Stark. Till lunch it went. Till lunch it went, which frustrated them. Like last 10th wicket partnership is the most frustrating thing in the cricket, where the bowlers will be coming and playing against your top bowlers, right? So it is more frustrating of, as a captain as well, and he handled it in a good way with the intention. Okay, let's see. Wait, the patience we can handle here, and they took a wicket before lunch, and then after lunch they started to play, which behaved well towards them. After that, it started moving from on there. The acceleration started, and they just like that they go and they took the trophy with them. So this is what my
Yes, Silva bhai. I think a very good insight provided about Temba Bavuma, and as well as the approach that South Africa had throughout this final match that we saw. Another player I think that we definitely have to talk about here is from Australia, and that is Mitchell Stark. I mean, come to the finals, Mitchell Stark, we already know in every game what kind of a pedigree of a bowler that he is, but when it comes to final, it looks as if he elevates his skill 10 times more, and he's always the player to watch out for in any finals. If we have seen throughout the years, be it in World Cups or the T20 World Cup, or even when it comes to IPL that we saw in the previous year. So whenever it is a knockout game, whenever it is a final, Mitchell Stark, as if he becomes a totally different beast, beat any kind of a format. So I'll come to Rajbhai that how much of an important do such players bring into a particular team, when you have players like Stark, and even we saw it with Alex Carey as well. That many times, especially in Test matches, players like Carey have saved those collapses and saved matches for Australia. So how much do these kind of players are important in any kind of a team?
I mean, Australians have it in their blood. Okay. So if you go back to the history also, they are like warriors. Every single time they are like warriors. They are like in a hungry situation. Like, you give me a tougher situation, I will come back harder. Okay, many teams should actually learn from the Australians. That means like what? The more you get hurt, the more you get wounded, come back from that, and then you start showing what is your true potential. And that's what Mitchell Stark did. Boss, you might have taken other 9 wickets in my team, but if you want to get me out, you need to take me out in a legal delivery only. Okay, so he was waiting. He played along. He played each and every single ball just like he was playing the very first ball. 136 balls is not a so easy task. That's over like what? 22 overs? Playing 22 overs at Lords in that conditions is not so easy. And again, he has been not out. Okay, he has stood unbeaten in that particular innings. That actually shows the true warriors what Australians are actually made up of. Mitchell Stark is one such kind of a person, not once, not twice. He did it like almost like 3 to 4 times for Australia. When you ask him to do with the ball, he will come and do it with the ball. When like I was also like watching some of the old highlights of Australia's match against New Zealand, I believe. Okay, so there were when 9 or 10 runs which is required. Pat Cummins throw the ball to Mitchell Stark with 4 wickets remaining. He picks up 3 wickets, and when almost like what you have more than like 20 overs to remain, and Pat Cummins throw the ball to Mitchell Stark. He picks up 3 wickets continuously. But unfortunately, New Zealand win that particular tournament, and Kane Williamson like hitting the last ball 4 over the mid-on, I believe. Okay,
It was one
so
of the league matches in 2015 World Cup.
yeah. So just imagine the kind of like grit, determination what this human being is actually having. He never says like, "But I am not here for free wicket. I am here for a tough battle, tough competition, and trust me, I am gonna do this very well for you and very well for the team. If you want it, I will do it. If you don't want it, I'll not do it." Okay, he has nothing or like he don't have the word no in his dictionary, I believe. So whenever you throw the ball, even though he's injured, he comes back with the same fairy pace. He played like last 2.5 months of Indian Premier League, and even when he was going out for the World Test Championship, he knows what the nation actually means for him. He played that with a true spirit. Even though it was a 4-day game, that 4 day, the intensity what he has shown on the field, every single player should actually replicate, and that actually comes into your mind when you're an Australian. Okay, when you're an Aussie, it actually comes to you naturally. And Alex Carey, I mean, we have also seen him the way even in the last concluded Border Gavaskar Trophy, also the way he was outplaying Indian bowlers was something to the next level. Again, these two gentlemen, especially, the more you talk, the less you talk about Mitchell Stark is actually good for us, because he is so dangerous when it comes uh, for a difficult situation for the Australians, I believe.
Yes, another keeper, very very reliable keeper batter in the form of Alex Carey, and definitely this particular generation of players that Australia have produced, and I am pretty sure that even in the coming years they will keep producing such clutch players, because that has been their history, that has been their culture, and it has always been country first for them over anything else. You might see them skipping many leagues and being very well prepared and very much fit to play for their country. So now moving on from WTC, we'll talk about a league which is actually making its mark on the global stage, and it is an attempt to promote our cricket in the United States as well. And it is very good to see that crowds coming in even in a state where cricket isn't that popular, and where the nation just did very well in the previously concluded T20 World Cup, where they beat some of the giant teams like Pakistan as well. So when the cricket is on rise, such leagues like MLC try to bring in those sponsors, try to attract more audience as well, which is an attempt, and I'm pretty sure that they are succeeding in their attempt. So again, now I'll come to Selva Bhai, that we have had four matches and four good matches. And I think one of the matches that happened, that was the match between the team of MI and TSK, Texas Super Kings, that we saw. So things that happened there, it was totally bizarre. So just talk about MLC as a league and also the matches that we have had so far.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So MLC, like that is like it's a growing league. Okay. So when we compare to when we take like United States, right, where cricket is not that popular, and many of Indian cricketers who are played domestically, and even if we take international cricketers who have played there, also have moved to United States. Okay. So the state like United States is a completely kind of a newborn baby with more number of talents they have. Okay. Like this tournament will be a nurture for them where they will be able to communicate with lots of international players. They can gain experience from them. They can learn more of things from them where they can improve their own individual game as well as the team can grow more. So these are the the platform has been set for the United States player now. USA team, there is a platform has been laid for them, and this platform will bring them more glory in the future, upcoming future. So that's how I see. Why? Because like lots of players will be moving there and taking playing those things. They will be providing insights to them. How we see in the local Premier leagues also we can see, right. The players who are more senior most level will go to the juniors and they will teach them how it has been done, how it can be played, what are the nuances of games, and how you can betterment yourself. So those kinds of things will happen. I'm seeing it as a platform in future where there will be more number of cricketers will be provide like coming from there and playing all leagues all over the world. So that is the great one. And if I come into the match stuff, as you mentioned, it is a bizarre one. So it was a match which was in the hands of Mumbai New York.
My team,
So they
yes.
had their yeah, hands over the target. But first, we need to appreciate Texas Super King. They pulled them back down. Okay, there came Bracewell, who played a great knock. Out of 18 balls, 31 runs he played. He smashed all over the places. There was another player named I couldn't remember. U.S. captain. He is a U.S. captain, United States captain. He is. So he was like hanging here and there. He was couldn't able to like observe the pressure and he couldn't able to play it in a free manner. When Bracewell came inside that and he started to take the pressure off from him. And then he started to score. This is how a partnership is switched in a T20 game. If one of your partner is not playing well, when a new batter comes, he has to take responsibility and he has to play hard and hit hard and he has to break the lines and stuff which is bowled by the opponents, which Bracewell did very well. And then uh, he started to target against the bowlers and where the team was marching towards the victory in an easy way. There come a twist in the tail. How we say cricket is a funny game, kind of that. They came a twist. So Fab Duplessis took a great catch of Bracewell. They have started to fall, and then we got uh, Pollard in. So we thought Pollard will be finishing. The same thing started. Pollard started to hit boundaries and he started to score runs in a convenient manner where they started to march towards victory in an easy way. There came a bizarre run out. So it's a basic mistake where youngsters should see. You should not focus on the ball. Okay, what the fielder is doing, what is happening towards the ball. Your thing is to if you hit the ball, you have to run towards the next base, next end. That's what you have to do. But Pollard, what he did was he just hit it and he started to slowly jog, which is a kind of a worst thing in international cricket where we used to see. Okay, so in a kind of big stage, it's a big mistake where everyone, every commentator or every cricketing agents are used to say that. So that happened over there, and there started the run out, and from there it started to pull down. Okay, and the whole pressure started to fall on the another player who has been already studying with graceful intent. He started to score good runs, but there again the pressure started to fall, and came another bizarre run out as well, where Trent Bolt started to slip down, and he left his bat and they were juggling in between of the pitch. This gave a huge change in the match. one over two run outs it's not acceptable. It's not at all acceptable in a stage like that in a team like MI with lots of experienced players, lots of experienced candidates in the dugout thing. So that changed the moment there, and Texas grabbed it with two hands and they took over the line and they won the game. So this is what happened.
Yes, I think very rightly put by Selva Bhai there that they they gifted the match in the hands of TSK. Yes, Rajbhai, you had to make a point.
Yeah, I mean, generally, like if you look at MI as a franchisee, okay, wherever you go, you watch it like MI in Abu Dhabi T10 League, or you watch it MI in South Africa SAT20 League, or you watch it in Indian Premier League, MI as a whole franchise, or especially here also in the Major League Cricket as an overall tournament. Mumbai generally are the slow starters. They start slow. They see the situation. They seize the situation. They'll not be like they'll be in a situation like even in the last concluded Indian Premier League, wherein Mumbai Indians also told that. Fine. I mean, like even if we lose like first two or three matches, we are not even worried about what's going to be the end result. They qualified for the playoffs when it is much required, and this time also like they threw out the wickets, like they could not able to seize that particular moment. Yes, everything happens in a game of cricket, but I still can't write down the movement of what Mumbai does. And TSK, as a franchise, I mean, especially the kudos, the athleticism of a 39-year-old youngsters. We talk about like 13-year-old youngsters, but we should also talk about the 39-year-old youngsters. The diving cat in the long on, okay, sorry, in the mid on, I believe, in the mid on,
Done.
that he one-handed catch is something superb, and it was so pleasing to the eyes. The way he jumped just like a Superman or a pigeon flying all over the park. Okay, so he has his hands wide open, just like an eagle, go and grabbing the target where exactly it was. He just plugged it the ball in his hands, and that's how you actually play. That's how this cricket is as a sport, as a franchisee, means to a player like Faf du Plessis. Yes, that was the point which I was supposed to make. And don't forget, like we had also seen a couple of major innings from the
Finale.
team is called as San Francisco Unicorns, wherein oof, I don't want to like what a knock from two of the gentlemen. Over to you to ask the question, Sagar.
Yes, I think the way MLC this season it started, it reminded us of that very first IPL match between RCB and KKR, where Brendan McCullum lit up the first match of IPL with a brilliant 150, which no one saw coming, and that is what exactly was done by Finn Allen as well in the very first match that we saw, scoring 151 with 19 sixes. I mean, that is totally unbelievable as to what he did. He was there with some IPL franchises as well, but couldn't get the so many opportunities as such. But time and again, he's played in different leagues and he has proved himself as well. And yes, after that, what we saw from Washington Freedom also, they started off really well. It looked as if Rachin Ravindra had got them to a brilliant start, but after that, just that one particular wicket and the whole innings faltered for them. But yes, what we can exactly tell from MLC going on is that matches are actually very interesting. So what we can urge our viewers is that try to wake up a bit early, because it starts almost around 6:30, so you can watch at least one innings as such. Or if not that, do follow the scores as well, and do look at some of the players that are coming up from those leagues.
We're
Yes,
also
Sagar.
giving live updates on at Crixenify as well. We are also giving you the post just in case, like if you have missed out anything, all the key moments is getting captured at Crixenify. We are trying. We are also bringing you lots of contents as well. So I mean. It's not only reminding of the first ever Indian Premier League. I mean, the way, especially Jake Fraser McGrath played in the last match against the Settle Oracos is something again. I mean, I don't know how exactly to narrate it, but it was something. Not that one, I believe. It was against the Los Angeles Knight Riders.
Los Angeles,
Right.
yes.
He scored 88 in just 8 balls, 11 sixes. And mind you, these two young players, Finn Allen and JFM, both playing for the same team, San Francisco Unicorns, so far, and they're also on top of the league with a positive and a healthy run rate of 3.875. And we have not seen this at any major tournaments. And it's not so easy to win or get to this kind of tournaments when it is much required, even though they're not. I mean, like, you can all ask, like, there are lots of other players also, like you had Saurabh Netravalkar, who had been a World Cup part of a World Cup for South Africa, I mean, United States. And also, on the other hand, you had Mitchell Owen, you had Ravindra Jadeja, sorry, Rachin Ravindra, and Glenn Maxwell as well, being the captain of Washington Freedom. But all these players, he played against the world class bowlers. It was not an easy bowling. You had like Jake Edwards, you had Glenn Phillips, you had Ian Holland. All these players were also the part of the Washington Freedom. But what San Francisco Unicorns are doing this time is they're showing San Francisco are a team to beat at this particular tournament. But watch out and stay along with us for all these updates. We'll be coming with lots more interesting updates as well. And until next time, Saga will say.
Okay, so till then, just to put a light on one of the other series across the globe kind of series what we are doing now. So we had this pretty much white ball series between England and West Indies. What we had that a very well constructed series, especially for West Indies team, that I would say, with some of their major players not being there. And Darren Sammy, who's the head coach, I think from the time he's taken over, West Indies cricket is again starting to slowly come back to their glory days. One aspect where they can obviously improve is their bowling, because we saw that consistently in the three match T20I series that West Indies had, especially the finishing in one of the match that the Romario Shepherd and Jason Holder gave. They almost scored around more than 70 runs in the last 4 overs and had smashed Adil Rashid for almost 30 runs in 1 over. Not almost, it is actually, to be precise, it was 31 runs that they scored against a world class spinner like Adil Rashid. So just to put a light on that is that West Indies as a batting unit, from their very beginning days, they have been really well. But I think their downfall started once the bowling quality out there started going down. They have had some promising players coming in, but again, not staying so well or not performing so consistently. So, yes, Selva Bhai, if you can tell that, what holds in the future for West Indies as a team?
So as we know, West Indies, so they are lagging the bowling lineup. So if we take in the past years, a decade or so, the fast bowling unit, which the whole world was like feared to face them. So they had lots of bowlers who had uh, like started to show fear amongst the other country batters. So kind of that. So now we can start seeing they are in a white ball cricket manner. We can see West Indies are producing great cricketers. So, for example, if we can say in IPL itself, we saw a match winner Romario Shepherd, who has been performing good for RCB. Same way, they are also playing lots of leagues around the world, which improves their games as well. Okay, so where we can see that they are coming a step by step. I think where they had a dip, we should not forget they're also a World Cup winner. So they are also World T20 Cup winner also. So that kind of team went down. Now they are searching for a good fit for every kind of formats everywhere. So we also had a hero, Shamar Joseph, so who bowled very well in the test part, and he started to show that we can beat Australia in Australia. So kind of that he started to show an intent against a quality batting lineup where he started everyone. So for test for T20 they have started a build kind of thing. There are lots of issue in between their cricket board, but other than that they are coming out of those kinds of things and they are proving that we're also a team where we can showcase our things and we can get it up. One small bit and things here, they are too dependent on single players. So
Yes.
they are trying to put one player, a dimensional player, three-dimensional player. Like we can see Andre Russell is a good hitter in the low order. They started to train him as a bowler as well, where he started to bowl in the power plays and he started to bowl in it, where they started to hit. Like one thing we have to see it is they start training a bowler for this kind of format. They start fixing the shoes in a right way. How India did for Test cricket, right? When Virat took captaincy, he started to put everything everywhere, right? This is the part of team play I'm going to take for Test, for T20, these kinds of bowlers, and for one day international, these kinds of team I'm going to have it. Even Dhoni started the same thing for us. From that culture started to build up. Till now, we are trying to fix it. Even the England series, which is coming ahead, they are trying to search for players who can fix for all kind of format, or particularly for Test. Based on format wise, they are trying to pick those bowlers or batters. So same way, if the West Indies started to pick them, then definitely they are going to come up in a good way. Like, see, they can compare the scenario with Sri Lanka, where Sri Lanka also went down. So they also were in a dip. They started to search for players who can fit them in a good format wise. Now they are trying to get up and they are coming up out of lots of things. Same way West Indies will also they do the same thing. They will also be coming up with the solutions and they can be a better team to beat anyone in this world.
Yes, rightly put by Selva Bhai there that most important aspect out there is if they sort out their management issues. I'm sure that with the talent pool that West Indies has produced previously and even now they're producing, they can definitely be a team to beat. So just before we conclude, there are quite a few rule changes about which you will also see reels on Crick Zenify coming up. So do tune into Crick Zenify. So that is it for today's live. Do like, share, and subscribe to Crick Zenify, and do follow us on Instagram because you always get updates about every particular league, be it any domestic league or even the leagues that happens across the globe. We are there covering all of it and bringing to you the players to watch out for and the impactful performances from those leagues as well. So yes, please do subscribe, and yes, Rajbhai.
Yes, before we conclude, Selva is also covering our TNPL, which is happening right now. So don't miss out on any updates. Selva, we are there to you, and as well as for all the fans who are watching us right now, just go out there and tune in to Quick Zenify. So until next time, take care, see you, and bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Raj. Thank you.